The decisions in Washington and the immigration issues are reverberating through the remittances industry. The new Genius Act could change the way companies like MoneyGram process cross-border payments, and the president's crackdown on immigration threatens to disrupt remittances, since migrants often send money back to their home countries. Anthony Soohoo is the chief exec of MoneyGram, joins me now. Good to see you, sir. I'm grateful. Let's start first of all. I use that phrase, talk of your death is greatly exaggerated, to paraphrase that famous quote. They've been saying that people like you will be out of business for decades, as far as I know, as each new iteration comes along. I assume you're fairly relaxed about things like crypto and will adjust accordingly yourselves.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me here. We are actually very excited about what's been passed with the Genius Act. In fact, we see it as a huge benefit for our business, but specifically for our customers, because I think what the promise of stablecoin is that we can actually reduce the cost of transactions, which is something that we can pass right back to the customers.
This idea, though, of remittances, when I first started in business journalism, I'd never really heard of them, and I certainly didn't realize just how important and significant they are. Remittances is a vast industry. How is it being influenced or affected by, if you will, the crackdown on immigration in the United States?
Well, I would say remittance is a global business, as you know, and a little fact about MoneyGram is that we operate in over 200 countries, and we allow the world to connect over 20,000 corridors. And what I would say is that as immigration rules tighten up in one area, it actually loosens up in others. In fact, what we see is that over 70% of our sends right now, transactions are actually not touching the United States, but in areas that do, what we see is that workers that previously might have worked in one area have just moved elsewhere. Like, we're seeing huge growth in Latin America. We're seeing huge growth in the Middle East, especially in Dubai and Saudi Arabia. And I think workers are going to where they're welcome to work. And I think that that's driving a lot of where the global economy is going. The great thing about what we do is we get to see all of that, and we try to enable transactions everywhere.
The issue, of course, with remittances, is the security and safety, and obviously yourselves it is paramount. But the level of fraud and scams that take place overall, I mean, it's a real issue that the legitimate players, the strong legitimate players like yourself, have to educate those who are using them about.
That's absolutely right, Richard. I think one of the biggest things that we have is that the company has been around for over 80 years, and we wouldn't be around for this long if we did not work on following trust. Trust is a huge thing. We also work very closely with all the local and global regulatory as well as compliance offices around to just make sure that the consumers are protected and there's a level of safety where they can trust us in terms of sending money to their loved ones. And in addition, in terms of remittance, the other interesting thing is it's not just for families or people sending money back to their families. There's actually a good portion, about a third of the payments are actually just going to vendors, suppliers, people sending money back to pay their rent as well.
I'm grateful, sir. Thank you very much. We'll talk more about this in the future. Now,